Litigation is the one place where the contracts get unsealed, the internal emails get read out loud, and the math finally has to add up in front of a judge. So I recently just wrote a report that walks through 10 of the most consequential PBM legal battles of the past decade. Each is structured as a case study because each reveals a different mechanism in the same machine. Let's start with case study number 1, the insulin trap. How a $21 drug became a $274 drug. Insulin is the cleanest example of the rebate trap because the before picture is so stark. In 1999, the average list price of Eli Lilly's Humalog was about $21. And by 2017, it was more than $274. That's an increase of over 1,200%. The molecule did not get harder to make. Insulin Discoverers famously sold the patent for $1. Frederick Banting, he said he wanted to make it cheap because insulin belonged to the world. So what happened? According to the FTC's administrative complaint against all 3 big PBMs and their affiliated group purchasing organizations, the middleman ran a quote-unquote chase the rebate strategy. So here's how it worked. A PBM controls the formulary, which is the list of drugs an insurance plan will cover, and on what tier. You know how some tiers are free, some tiers have a copay, and every tier you go up, the more and more expensive the drug is. So they want to be on the lowest tier. Getting onto that formulary is life or death for a drug maker. Exclusion means losing access to millions of patients. So they want to do everything they can to get on that formulary. So PBMs invited manufacturers to compete not on the lowest price, but on the biggest rebate. A bigger rebate is easier to offer when you first jack up the price and then you put a fake discount off that inflated number. The result is a perverse feedback loop. The higher the price, the bigger the rebate, the better the formulary placement. The FTC alleges insulin list prices began their steep climb in 2012, which is precisely when PBMs started building out these exclusionary formularies. Novo Nordisk's Novolog more than doubled. It went from almost $123 to $289. So net prices, and net prices are what the manufacturers actually collected after the rebates, those barely moved. Novo Nordisk reported Novolog's list price rose 353% from 2001 to 2016, while the net price rose just 36%. That gap is the trap. The patients who got crushed were the ones whose out-of-pocket costs were tied to the list price. The uninsured, the underinsured, and anyone in a high-deductible plan paying coinsurance off a number everyone in the supply chain knew was fake. Let's talk about the human impact. This is where the storytelling stops being a metaphor. An estimated 1.3 million insulin users, which is roughly 16.5% of Americans on insulin, reported rationing the drug because of the cost of insulin. Skipping doses to save money is not a budgeting choice. It is a medical event, and for some patients, it has been fatal. On February 4th, 2026, the FTC reached a landmark settlement with Express Scripts alone. No fine, no admission of wrongdoing, just a sweeping consent order requiring it to stop preferring high list price drugs over identical low list price versions. The cases against Caremark and OptumRx continue.